Ever feel like someone's just dragging you down? You know the type. The constant complainer, the gossip who twists the truth, the friend who promises the world but never delivers. It's hard to feel good around people like that, right? But what if there was a way to navigate these situations without getting caught up in the negativity? That's where Stoicism comes in. Now, Stoicism might sound like something from a dusty old history book, but it's actually a philosophy all about living a good life by focusing on what you can control, your own thoughts and actions. Stoicism emphasizes living virtuously, using reason to guide your emotions, and not letting the behavior of others dictate your happiness. So, are you ready to learn how to deal with those negativity vampires in your life the Stoic way? Let's dive into the 10 traits that go against Stoic principles and how you can rise above them. Alright, let's tackle the first trait, dishonesty. We're talking about people who lie, cheat, or mislead others. Now, Stoicism places a huge value on honesty. It's seen as a core virtue, essential for building trust and strong relationships. Liars erode trust, making it impossible to have genuine connections. Think about Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a famous Stoic. He believed in living a life of integrity, which meant always being truthful. Even facing his enemies, he valued honesty above all else. There's a story about a plot to assassinate him, but instead of resorting to deceit, he openly confronted the conspirators. His honesty disarmed them, and the plot fizzled out. Now, we all make mistakes, and sometimes a little white lie seems easier. But Stoicism encourages us to strive for complete honesty. It might be tough at first, but the long-term benefits are huge. Here's the Stoic twist. Dishonesty isn't just about what you say to others, but also about being honest with yourself. Regularly reflecting on your actions and intentions is a key part of Stoic self-improvement. Next up, we have arrogance. Arrogant people have an inflated sense of their own importance and look down on others. This clashes head-on with Stoic principles. Stoicism emphasizes humility and the importance of recognizing that we're all constantly learning and growing. Arrogance prevents this growth and isolates you from others. Think about the Roman Emperor Caligula, the opposite of Marcus Aurelius. Caligula's arrogance was legendary. He believed himself to be a god and even declared his horse a consul. This arrogance ultimately led to his downfall. The people couldn't tolerate his self-importance, and he was assassinated by his own guards. It's easy to fall into arrogance, especially when things are going well. But Stoicism reminds us that even the most successful people can face setbacks. Regularly practicing gratitude for what you have and reflecting on the impermanence of success can keep your ego in check. Remember, everyone makes mistakes, and arrogance can be overcome. By embracing lifelong learning and focusing on self-improvement, you can cultivate humility, a key Stoic virtue. Alright, let's move on to trait number 3, ungratefulness. We're talking about people who constantly focus on what they lack, never appreciating what they have. This might seem harmless, but for Stoics, gratitude is a cornerstone of a happy life. By focusing on the negative, the ungrateful miss out on the joy that comes from appreciating the good things, big or small. Imagine a scenario: you give a friend a thoughtful gift, but they barely acknowledge it, immediately complaining they wanted something else. This is the essence of ungratefulness. Stoicism teaches us to find contentment in what we have, even during challenging times. A famous Stoic example is Epictetus, a former slave who went on to become a respected philosopher. Despite his difficult past, he remained grateful for his life and the opportunity to learn and grow. It's easy to fall into the trap of ungratefulness, but the good news is you can cultivate gratitude. Stoic practices like keeping a gratitude journal or taking time each day to appreciate the simple things can have a profound impact. Remember, a grateful heart is a happy heart. Let's shift gears and talk about a trait that can fuel many of the negativity magnets we've discussed: lack of self-control. We're talking about people who give in to impulsive desires, be it anger, jealousy, or overindulgence. Stoicism emphasizes reason and virtue, and letting your emotions run wild throws that whole philosophy out the window. When you lack self-control, your emotions dictate your actions, leading to behaviors that often go against your own best interests and damage your relationships. Imagine someone who constantly gets into arguments because they can't control their temper. This is a prime example of a lack of self-control. Stoicism teaches us to use reason to manage our emotions, not let them manage us. The Roman Emperor Nero is a cautionary tale. Nero's lack of self-control fueled his cruelty and extravagance. He famously fiddled while Rome burned, a symbol of his detachment from the suffering of his people. But here's the good news. Self-control is a muscle you can strengthen. Stoic practices like mindfulness meditation and delaying gratification can help you develop the ability to pause, assess a situation, and choose a response guided by reason rather than raw emotion. Remember, it's not about being emotionless, but about responding to them wisely. Now, let's tackle a trait that can really disrupt any kind of positive interaction: disrespect for others. This isn't just about bad manners. It's about a fundamental disregard for another person's worth. Stoicism emphasizes treating everyone with respect, regardless of their social status or background. It's about recognizing the shared humanity that binds us all. Disrespect not only creates negativity, but also hinders your ability to build strong, meaningful relationships. Think about a situation where someone constantly cuts you off in conversation or talks down to you. This is disrespectful behavior. Stoicism teaches us to treat others with the same respect we expect for ourselves. Emperor Marcus Aurelius, again a shining example of Stoicism, believed in treating everyone with dignity, even his enemies. He understood that everyone is capable of reason and virtue, and that respect fosters a more harmonious society. The good news is, cultivating respect is a choice you can make. Stoic practices like active listening and considering another person's perspective can go a long way in fostering respectful interactions. Remember, everyone deserves to be treated with dignity, and by doing so, you create a more positive environment for yourself and those around you. Up next, we have inconsistency. This describes people whose words and actions don't align. They might say one thing and do another, or their behavior fluctuates wildly depending on the situation. Stoicism values living with integrity and following through on your commitments. Inconsistency erodes trust and makes it difficult to rely on someone. Imagine a friend who constantly flakes on plans or promises something but never delivers. This type of inconsistency is frustrating and disrespectful. Stoicism teaches us to act with intention and follow through on what we say we'll do. Even great Stoics weren't perfect. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, amassed a great deal of wealth despite advocating for a simple life. However, this inconsistency didn't stem from a lack of commitment to Stoicism, but rather from navigating the complex realities of his time. The key takeaway here is that change is possible. Stoicism encourages us to constantly strive to live according to our values. Practices like daily journaling and reflecting on your actions can help you identify areas for improvement and develop consistency in your character and behavior. Remember, becoming a Stoic is a journey, not a destination. Focus on progress, not perfection. Now let's talk about a trait that can make it difficult to connect with others: lack of empathy. We're talking about people who struggle to understand or share the feelings of others. Stoicism, while often associated with emotional control, doesn't advocate for coldness. Empathy allows you to build strong relationships and connect with others on a deeper level. Someone who lacks empathy might seem insensitive or dismissive of another person's pain. Imagine a friend going through a tough time, but the other person just offers generic advice or seems uninterested in listening. This is a prime example of a lack of empathy. Stoicism encourages understanding the perspectives and experiences of others. Here's the thing: Stoicism isn't about feeling sorry for someone. It's about acknowledging their situation and offering support. Emperor Marcus Aurelius himself wrote extensively about the importance of compassion. He believed in treating others with kindness and understanding, even during challenging times. The good news is that empathy can be cultivated. Stoic practices like active listening and observing the world around you with curiosity can help you develop a deeper understanding of others' experiences. Remember, empathy allows you to connect with others on a more meaningful level, fostering stronger relationships and a more positive social environment. Almost there. Let's delve into the final trait: manipulative behavior. Manipulators use deception, guilt, or other tactics to control others for their own gain. This flies in the face of Stoic principles. Stoicism emphasizes honesty, fairness, and treating everyone with respect. Manipulation is inherently dishonest and undermines trust, making it impossible to build genuine connections. Imagine a friend who constantly guilt trips you into doing things you don't want to do. This is a prime example of manipulation. Stoicism teaches us to be upfront and honest in our interactions, even when it's difficult. Even leaders we admire might have exhibited manipulative tendencies. Julius Caesar, a brilliant military leader, was known for his persuasive tactics, which some might consider manipulative. However, Stoicism encourages us to focus on our own actions, not the actions of others. The good news is, you can develop healthy boundaries and avoid being manipulated. Stoic practices like mindfulness meditation meditation, and journaling can help you identify your values and learn to say no when necessary. Remember, you have the power to control your own thoughts and actions, and you don't have to succumb to manipulation. Alright, our final character flaw is the ever-present lack of responsibility. We're talking about people who blame others for their problems, constantly make excuses, and avoid taking ownership of their actions. This clashes head-on with Stoicism. Stoicism emphasizes personal responsibility, focusing on what you can control, your thoughts and actions. By shirking responsibility, you give away your power and fail to learn from your mistakes. Imagine someone who constantly blames their boss for their lack of promotion or their friends for a bad decision. This is a prime example of avoiding responsibility. Stoicism teaches us to take ownership of our choices and the consequences that come with them. Even historical figures we admire might have struggled with responsibility. Emperor Nero, who we mentioned earlier, is often blamed for the Great Fire of Rome. While the specifics are debated, some accounts suggest he fiddled while the city burned, a symbol of his irresponsibility as a leader. The good news is, anyone can cultivate a sense of responsibility. Stoic practices like daily journaling and reflecting on your actions can help you identify areas for improvement. By taking ownership of your mistakes and learning from them, you become more proactive and empowered in shaping your own life. Remember, Stoicism isn't about dwelling on the past, but about using it to grow and become the best version of yourself. That's right, we've saved the worst for last: negativity. We're talking about people who constantly complain, dwell on the bad, and see the worst in every situation. This might seem harmless, but negativity is a real buzzkill. Stoicism emphasizes focusing on the present moment and finding the good, even in challenging circumstances. Negativity clouds your judgment, prevents you from appreciating the positive aspects of life, and can bring down everyone around you. Imagine a friend who always has a negative spin on everything, from the weather to the news to upcoming plans. This constant negativity can be draining. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts and reactions, and choose a positive outlook. Even Stoic philosophers themselves weren't immune to negativity. Seneca, the wealthy philosopher we discussed earlier, wrote extensively about the dangers of envy and resentment, both negative emotions. However, Stoicism provides tools to overcome negativity. The good news is, you can cultivate a more positive mindset. Stoic practices like gratitude journaling and cognitive reframing, which involves challenging negative thoughts, can help you shift your focus and find the silver lining. Remember, negativity is a habit, but so is positivity. By actively choosing to focus on the good, you can create a happier and more fulfilling life for yourself. Alright, we've talked about 10 traits that can make interacting with others difficult. But remember, Stoicism isn't about judging people or withholding respect. It's about finding a more empowering way to navigate these situations. Instead of focusing on not respecting someone, Stoicism encourages us to detach from their negativity. This doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. It means recognizing that you can't control their behavior, but you can control your own reactions. Here's where the concept of focusing on what you can control comes in. Stoicism teaches us that our thoughts, emotions, and actions are within our control. When someone exhibits a negative trait, focus on how you can respond in a way that aligns with your values. Maybe it's calmly setting boundaries, offering a different perspective, or simply choosing to walk away. Remember, Stoicism isn't about becoming a doormat. It's about cultivating inner strength and emotional resilience. By focusing on what you can control, you can choose not to be dragged down by negativity and instead respond with reason, virtue, and perhaps even a touch of compassion. Alright, let's wrap this up. We've covered 10 traits that can make life difficult: dishonesty, arrogance, ungratefulness, lack of self-control, disrespect for others, inconsistency, lack of empathy, manipulative behavior, lack of responsibility, and negativity. Remember, these aren't about judging others, but about recognizing the kind of energy you want to cultivate in your own life. Stoicism teaches us that true happiness comes from focusing on what we can control, our own thoughts and actions, and living virtuously. By striving for honesty, humility, gratitude, self-control, and a positive outlook, we can navigate negativity and build a more fulfilling life. So, if you're tired of being dragged down by negativity, Stoicism offers a powerful set of tools. Maybe you're curious to learn more about Stoic practices like meditation, journaling, or negative visualization. Perhaps you want to delve deeper into the writings of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. Wherever you are on your journey, I encourage you to explore Stoicism further. It might just be the key to unlocking a happier, more virtuous you. Thanks for watching.